I love the countdown. So
Me too.
good countdown that we have got the brilliant Nikki here today. So Nikki St Paul is a mind, body and breath coach, the founder of Breathing Mindful Coaching. She's a certified life and breath coach, an accredited mindfulness and meditation teacher. And Nikki, who is it that you work with and how do you help them? Because I know this is evolving, isn't it?
Exactly. As I think it always is in business, isn't it? As we get clearer, crystal clearer. So I am working with female founders. They really are purpose-led, purpose-driven. They're on a mission and they care about kind of what the outcome of their clients and, you know, them realizing their potential. That's super important. It's not just a transaction, it really is a relational. And really the women that I work with, they want to create momentum in their business. They want to take the right action. They want the results. They want the financial freedom and flexibility, which is why they went into business, but they don't want it at the cost of burnout. And often what I really couch my support in is part of that is learning how to master your mind body connection, learning how to rest, which for these women who are always on, and I say these women, I count myself in this group,
Yeah,
right?
I'm in that
I'm there, right? I'm not even like on the outside. I'm there. Like often, even the word rest conjures up lots of really uncomfortable stories and beliefs about what it means to do that and how it will stop them. So it's really about how can I help you get momentum in your business, get the freedom and flexibility, but not with the burnout. So without the burnout.
I mean, really, nearly every woman that I know in business could benefit from working with you with that. I think you come in and like, it's all, especially those purpose-driven, purpose-led people, because we want to do so much good in the world, but it's often, you know, at what expense, isn't it?
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about what has got you here.
Yes.
So you did the training last year. Was it last year?
2023. That is, literally.
Was it March or May? I can't remember if it was March.
I think it was May.
Yeah, I think we spoke in March and then you started in May.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to train with us at Optimus?
Oh my goodness. So I think 2023 was a year that I like to say I was kind of laying the foundations for my business. So I did the breath coaching beforehand. And then I realized that actually, and I think we'd spoken about this before on your podcast, but a lot of the decisions I made about how I became in business have been through following my intuition, which for me has been something which in childhood, in early adulthood, I didn't follow. I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, other people tell me what to do. I do what I think is the right thing. I follow the path, take the norm. And I was like, actually, I feel like I could really be complemented by helping people not only through their actions, but through the thoughts which they have around what they'd like to achieve. And I did some research on some different coaching schools. And I really wanted to have a conversation with the people who I would actually work with to understand, like, would this be for me? Would this be the right learning environment for me? And I love the fact that when we connected, it was you, like you run the show and I was speaking to you and there was that conversation that we had. And you took the time to explain and your passion was so clear.
Yeah, I remember it really well. It's so funny, like they do stick in your head. And I remember all of the things that you had that passion too. So I saw that. So you decided to train. So you finished about a year ago, actually.
Yeah,
but what was
it's
it
literally
like? It goes so quickly, doesn't it?
Yes.
What did you enjoy about that experience of training with us?
I loved the mix of trainers that we met. So it wasn't just the same person each time. Not that that would have been bad, but it was good to get different people's style because we all bring our own personality to coaching. And it's the same if we're training new coaches. So I loved the fact that there was that different people that I was getting to meet. And also I think the variation of the content of the course, it wasn't just, you know, here are a few coaching models. It was the psychology behind it. It was really understanding the way that our minds work and, you know, all the neuroplasticity and all of that aspect of understanding me as an individual. And I felt that it was a way to also like personal growth as well. So through those discussions, through those peer coaching and mentoring, you learn more about yourself through that conversation, through that journey over those 5 months or so.
Yeah. And what are the biggest kind of takeaways and learnings that you got from there? So you talked about the personal and professional development. What do you think you left with?
I think one of the things that was, I think that there isn't one way to coach is the first thing that I experienced through being coached and coaching. And I think being confident to know that it isn't about asking the smartest question or having this amazing framework. Because at the beginning, it's like you have all these post-it notes, all these things around you when you're practicing. Like the screen is full and you want to get it right. But I think what I learned was it's about you being with the client. And when you first hear that, it sounds very nebulous. Like, what does that even mean? But it's like when you truly listen, you know the right questions to ask. And I think silence was another one that I came away with, as that being such a powerful tool to allow the space to be filled, or allow the space to remain, allow the client to come up with their own thoughts and to sit in that maybe uncomfortable stillness.
Yeah, the power of silence. And so now we are a year on. How are you using the coaching and what are you doing? I think said that already. She did mention the business.
Yeah. I think even outside of what I do with Breathing Mindful Coaching, I think it just allows me to be more curious with wanting to understand the why beyond the why beyond the why, because there always is something beyond those flyaway comments that people make in your lives. And I think that what it allows you to do is to kind of seek to understand the person in front of you or the situation in front of you. And I think that you can take it, beyond when you're working with clients one-on-one. So I think those skills are really key.
And in terms of the business, so that's, is it one-to-one coaching you do, but you do quite a lot of different things, don't you?
Yeah. So one-to-one coaching is where I'm at. And I think that's traditionally where a lot of people start to get that grounding, to get that depth and that experience. You don't have to start there, is the other thing to say to anybody. There's no one way. I eventually want to move into more group settings, but I also do a lot of corporate well-being workshops, trainings, facilitation, because I really want to, having been in the corporate space, Ruth, for like 18 years, I know what's really needed when it comes to well-being. And I know what often you're given, which is not what you actually want and need.
Not what you're needed.
And so I really want to bring this world of like nervous system regulation, which is my passion, to help people understand themselves so they can self-solve and self-solve, right? And self-manage.
Yeah, it's so important. I mean, I think that we both recognize that if we'd have had these tools back then, things would have been different.
Right, 100%, 100%.
So what would you say to people that are considering training on the course?
Have a conversation, first of all, because like, what do you have to lose from having a conversation? You get to have your questions answered. And I think the other thing that I would say to anybody is, this is an opportunity for you to look inside of yourself and like follow your gut. And sometimes making decisions where you're investing your time, your money is scary. But actually, often the good things that come from our lives have never come from not being a little bit uncomfortable. Because sometimes for me, that's a sign that, oh, actually, I'm stepping into a new chapter, a new phase. So lean into that and trust your judgment.
What great advice. And if people want to find out a bit more about you, I'm gonna make sure that the links will go out and we have those there. But it's breathingmindful.co.uk, isn't it? Really simple.
Yeah, breathingmindful.co.uk. I am most active on LinkedIn and Instagram, and you'll have those links in there. That, in fact, that's the best place to connect with me and find out about my latest work.
Brilliant. We'll make sure they're there. Nikki, I loved having you on the training. I love interacting with you on social media and seeing what you're doing too. And I'm sure that we'll be talking again in the future because the work that you do is so meaningful. So thank you so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Ruth.